Many people call him the King, and the King is Ferrell Miller. And his kingdom consists of pony dogs and field trials. Just a short background on Ferrell. He's a native Kentuckian. He graduated from high school in Lynn Grove in 1952, a graduating class of 12. He went on to Western Kentucky University in Bowling Green, where he played basketball. He's now 83 years old, and he's been training pony dogs since the 1950s. Mr. Ferrell's accomplishments may never be matched. He was inducted into the Hall of Fame in 1993. Let's take a look at Ferrell's record, and to make sure I don't make any mistakes, I'm going to read it. There are 6 Miller prefix dogs in the Field Trial Hall of Fame. There are 6 Miller prefix dogs that have won the national championship. Miller's Miss Night in 1973, Miller's White Cloud in 1976, Miller's Silver Ending in 1997, Miller's True Spirit in 2002, Miller's Online in 2004, and Miller's Dialing in 2015. If we remove the 2 great wins by Shadow Oak Bow at the National in 2013 and 2014, then 12 of the last 17, and this is through 2015, winners have had Miller dogs or Miller sires in their pedigree, especially Miller's Silver Bullet. Bullet was a great sire of winning field trial dogs. Ferrell Miller dogs have had over 1,000 field trial placements. Some of the information I took from Field Trial magazine, so I want to give them credit. It's Greg Doherty. This interview is broken into 3 segments. The first segment is a sit-down interview with Ferrell, and we ask some very interesting questions. The second segment is a walk through the house and then into the famous trophy room. And the third segment, we get on horseback and we follow some puppies, and that was a lot of fun. Ferrell, you've been called a master at breeding dogs. When looking for a sire or dam to introduce into your breeding program, what traits did you want in a dog?
I want a dog first that's pretty. I want one when he runs that he runs with that tail up and cracking it. But most of all, I want one with that good nose.
If you had a litter of puppies, how far would you take them into their training program before selling them?
If it was a special litter, that a female that had all the qualities that I like, and breeding to a dog that had those qualities, I'd keep a lot of the males and sell a few of the females. I'd try to always sell enough stuff, enough puppies to pay the stud fee if I had to breed outside, and I'll pay the expense of traveling. Used to, when I would go north, started out going to Canada, and that was an expensive trip. And I would try to take enough dogs to pick out some good ones for me and to sell to other field trialers to pay the expenses, and then I'd try to keep 2 or 3 of the best ones for me to enjoy.
It's often said that a derby will tell you when it's time to be broke. If that's true, what signs do you look for in a derby before breaking it?
A young dog has got to flush a number of whatever game that you're hunting. He's got to flush a number for that. If he don't flush them, you need to hunt him with run him with some other puppies that will. He's got to learn to, if a puppy don't like a bird well enough to try to catch it, he's not going to like a bird well enough to run through briars and to run through snow and water and tough conditions. He'll never be a top-notch dog if he's not given the opportunity to flush and chase a number of game that he's hunting. then after he chases and knocks a certain number of them, then he'll start flash pointing them. And when he starts flash pointing them, he's telling you, I'm ready for help. And then we start working him and teaching him. We try to take a chase out, but be very careful. If you use an electric collar, then you're taking a bad chance if you don't teach him first what you want him to do. And you don't never want to shock one for nothing until you teach him to do or to not to do.
Ferrell, a Miller prefix dog, Miller's dialing in, won the 2015 National Championship. How many more years will the Miller bloodline keep producing champions?
Well, that's a good question, because first thing, there's not many dogs that are given the opportunity that I give them here. I run a dog, when a puppy gets big enough to follow me, I take him with me, if he just follows a horse or what. But I run him, and he'll learn how to listen for me and not be afraid to be out of sight of me. A dog has got to learn, if he's going to be a field trial dog, he's got to learn to go in there further enough that he can't see you. He's just listen to you and run to the front. You don't want him coming directly back to you, but he don't have to if he's given the opportunity to learn as a puppy to listen for you and go to the front, not come back where he's last seen you.
Now, Ferrell, this is a question that will probably irk a few people, but we want to be honest also. Have you ever bred any of your white pointers with a different breed?
Yes, I have. I guess you'd say I was a little greedy. I was a poor boy. I had 11 brothers and sisters, and I always had to work. And my daddy taught me to work, and I'm thankful for it today. He taught me the value of $1, and I'm thankful for that. And when a man come here or called and wanted to breed, if he and the owner, the trainer, wanted to breed, I would let them breed and take their money.
You know, I've seen a lot of white appearing in German short-hair pointers, and I have some. Do you think that white trait is come from breeding with pointers?
Yes, sir.
Ferrell, there's been a lot of publicity about you being banned and so forth. American Field has taken that action. You know, I don't think I've ever heard your side of it. Why don't you tell me about that?
When Bernie suspended me, I had white powder, I had True Spirit, I had a number of champion dogs, and I was breeding at times near 100 females a year. And I explained to Bernie that the dogs were brought here. I never picked them up at the airport. The owner was here. We bred to the dog that he asked me to breed to. I don't know what happened a week before he came. I don't know what happened a week after he came. And when I had some litters that was brought here, some of the puppies DNA'd and some of them didn't. Well, that definitely told you that there's something, some other dog got to them accidentally or on purpose. But I never had a dog myself that didn't DNA. It was dogs females that were brought here, and I don't know what might have happened.
Ferrell, tell me of all your champions, and in my introduction I went over all of that. Tell me, which dog do you think was the greatest?
I enjoyed running Bullet more than any other dog that I ever owned. He was pretty running. He was pretty pointing birds. And when you flushed the birds, he stood there and made you so proud of him. And he'd run that country right. He worked for you. He didn't work for himself. You know, the dogs that work for themselves, they just go off self-hunting. Well, you're not going to win with a dog like that. Bullet placed in field trials 100 times. So that tells you how consistent he really was. And then I know I was running him at a place, and what jealousy will do. Bullet was poisoned with meat and with timid, and I just accidentally, I run him in the morning, and I run a dog that afternoon, and I come into the kennel and to feed him, and he was standing at the gate slobbering. And I looked down, actually Greg St. John was there with me. We were helping one another. And he looked down there and he saw this, he said, there's some meat right there. Well, we picked up the meat. We took him to Collierville. The vet said that his fever was so high that he pumped his stomach and then he packed him in ice to lower his temperature. And when I left at 11 o'clock, why, he told me that the dog had a 50-50 chance of living. Well, I had a dog the next morning to run, so I couldn't go to the vet. I wanted to be there when he opened so I could see if he's dead or alive or see what Bullet looked like. And I got somebody to call on up in the morning, and the vet said the dog was in the backyard running around. And he explained to me that the condition of the dog of being worked and in good shape was able to stand that poison. And I got somebody to go get him, and I run him that afternoon, and he placed second in that trial. So I was really thrilled that it didn't totally ruin his nose, but it did affect his nose. Anytime a dog's temperature gets too high, it will affect his nose. And that can be, if you're running in hot weather, you need to be very careful that the dog doesn't get too hot. He needs to be watered and keep that temperature down.
Okay.
This is Miller's Dialing In. Just won the national championship in 2015. He also won the top Peruna Dog of the Year. He placed in Kentucky, Illinois, Missouri, Alabama, Tennessee. So he was a very consistent dog. I can't tell you exactly how many different placements he had, but he had a lot. And he was a very nice dog, and he likes people and he likes to go with you. That's the reason he won the national championship. And you look how he looks there. He look at that tail. It's sticking up there straight. It's flat with his back. He's got that head up in there like he's winning birds. We don't want a dog that trails birds. We want one that'll throw his head up and go to them birds like a snake. That's Miller Silver Bullet. He's probably my favorite dog. He won 18 championships and 100 field trial placements. And he's so pretty. I was going around that field with that tail cracking, his head high. And he stayed, after you flushed a couple of your birds, he stayed just like he was standing before you flushed them. It just made you feel real proud of him when you flushed those birds. This is Miller's Dateline. He won the quail fraternity. In those days, you had to qualify, and then you come back for the finals. But he's one of the most pretty conformation dog. If you look at him, look how flat his back is and how that tail sits right on top of it and sticks right straight up. And he run through the field, that tail just going like this. Bernie suspended him when he was a first-year dog. I believe he would have been a great producer and could have really added to the pointer breed because he was so pretty and had such a good nose that he pointed a lot of birds. This is a picture of one of the dogs. And I had a friend that worked at the prison in Leavenworth, Kansas. And they had a prisoner there that could take a picture and a piece of leather and wet it and take a spoon, and he could make that picture look like that. I give the best one that he did for me to the Hall of Fame of Miller's Chief. And if you're to go to the Hall of Fame, you need to be sure and look at that and put your hand on it. And it's a very pretty piece of art. Okay. Here's a picture of Miller's Protemus Pride. I won the fraternity at Kildare Plains, Ohio with him. And then here is Miller's White Diamond, which was, as you can see, a very pretty dog. I won the Quail Fraternity. I won the International Pheasant Championship. And then Mike Johnson, who was a professional trainer, had a buyer that they wanted to buy him. And I sold him to them. This is True Spirit, a dog that I liked, and he won 27 championships and 17 runner-ups. So you'd have to like him.
Ferrell, you handled that dog yourself.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. This is a picture of Rising Star. He won the Quail Championship, the Region 14 in Canada, and a number of wins. And his conformation is just like I like one to look, and the picture's good. He got jumped out in the road, and a car hit him and killed him when he was a young dog. This is something you have to be proud of. Me, an amateur, I don't handle or train other people's dogs or take money for it. But I took these 4 dogs and won the Open Handler of the Year, All Age Handler of the Year. And of course, the famous All-American trainer George Tracy won the shooting dog. Here is trophies here of the Open Invitational, where they invite the 12 top dogs in the nation, and they run everything on Saturday, and then run the same dogs on Sunday, and then the judge calls back what he wants to see for 2 hours on Monday. So it's quite a impressive trial. And here is up here, that's Como, Mississippi, which was considered in those days the biggest and best field trial grounds in our nation. And Miller's Ladybird won it. And of course, then they come along and set it in Pines, and today it's not much. Here's a surprise gift for my brothers and sisters, and you can see that's Miller's white powder, and you can see the information, the conformation, and how pretty the dog is. And here I am playing with these puppies with a pigeon, and later we'll show you that. And it's a big help to those young dogs to learn to love birds. Most of these are fraternity winners. I've won the Quail Fraternity and the Pheasant Fraternity back when it was really a good entry and an impressive win for the dog. And then you can see of all the trophies, there's over 1,200 of them, and I'm, of course, very thrilled and happy. The field trial world has been very much of a blessing to me. I've met a lot of wonderful people, and I've learned a lot from some of the pros, Hall Eaton in particular, John Rex Gates. I made a trip to Canada one summer, and I visited 7 different trials, and I learned just as much of what to do and just as much of what not to do. And You know, when you go to the field with the pro and you watch him, you see some of them what they're doing that you're very impressed with, and then you see what some of the rest are doing, and you're not very impressed. A dog has got to be worked. He don't learn nothing in the pen. He don't learn nothing on the chain. He's got to be getting up. When I was going to Canada, and I had some good dogs, I just couldn't wait for the daylight to get there. And we'd sit in the truck a lot of times waiting for it to get daylight so we could turn those dogs loose. I'm addicted to it, and I love it, and I love the game.
Enjoy. Let's run some puppies.
But now, not all these horses got to be trained too to let them dogs jump up over.
I guess.
Oh, I like to let the gut get him. All right, blow your whistle, bud.
Oop, oop. Oh, that. Oh, look at that. Oh my God. Oh, whoa. Ferrell, hold right there. Ferrell, just comment on it. Whoa there and comment for me.
What, bud?
Just.
What? Oh, yeah. That's what makes you get out of here.
Oh yeah, oh yeah, yeah. Put that so the hawks and everything can't get at them.
The more you handle these dogs and put your hands on them and play with them, the better they'll look and better they'll like you.
Well, folks, many of you followers of our Bird Dogs Afield TV show have asked over the past couple of years to interview Ferrell. We packed our bags, we went to Murray, Kentucky, and we got the job done. I hope this interview met your expectations. Thanks for watching, and hope to see you in the field someday.
Bird Dogs Afield, presented by Native Performance Dog Food, and brought to you in part by RST Shot Shells, Mud River Dog Products, Pete Shoe Dryer, Wooden Stream Outdoor Footwear, and Canine Active.